Alright, call the meeting to order. Evidence of proper notice, please.
The agenda was posted on the website and out here on the bulletin board October 11th.
Alright, join me in a pledge, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whoa. Way to go, Brent.
I didn't do that.
Roll call, please.
All right, Katie Appel, Will Bergman,
Here.
Jeremy Hall,
Here.
Brent Prevey,
Here.
Mike Dorsey.
Present. Approval of agenda, have you guys?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Third. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Reading and approval of minutes from our last meeting on 9/18.
There was one typo that I fixed, I think, after it went into the packet. No, I'm probably not gonna remember where it was.
I saw that too.
Yeah, shit, I shouldn't even know. But there was an error in this one.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from 9/18.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Everybody in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No audience to be recognized, nobody online. Committee commissions and employee reports, road maintenance. Stephen, what do you have for us?
Alright, all of our grader patching is done for the year right now. We ended up with one load on, well, before that last meeting over by Bill Hughes. And then we got 6 down on the River Road. I believe James already got the bill for that, for the River Road, didn't he? In the county? Or not?
For the,
Monarch.
for the pavement, yes. Yes, or the asphalt.
And anyway, but that's, it made that area a lot better. It's still not perfect, but it's way better than what it was. At least you can go through there with the plow now. On 210th Street, when I initially went through that whole road, I only found 7 culverts on that road. And one of the, was it Erickson called in, and there was another culvert I didn't know was there for 18 years. So anyway, it's changed out now too. So everything on there was changed. That one, that last one, we put in a 15-inch there. We had one full-length 15 in the shed. So I got one other 15 and just added to it, put under there. And instead of, I had to get 2 extra pieces. The one on the end was longer because of the throat. And then that one at the Gainey was diagonal. And we were gonna straighten it out, but if we'd have done that, we'd have to redone the ditch along the Gainey and it wasn't worth it. So we just put in 2 extra pipes there. The Gainey one, as of right, well, earlier today is the only one that's showing depressing. I put some more class 5 on them, but I'll blade it again and move some more dirt in there. I got a pile right now on Mark Petzel's feet. I think it's Mark Petzel.
Larry.
Larry Petzel? Okay, and the Petzel's in there. And I'm scooping out of that hauling and dumping in if I need it. But so far I've got 3 loads divided up between them. And they're getting a lot firmer each time. But when we went to compact them, it was so dry it turned into like dust. And it's like, well, this is worthless. We did 3 and it's like, you can't compact it then. It just, you'd step here and it just shove it up like sand. And so I've been adding class 5 from the Tyler pit over there. And that seems to be firming up pretty good. Let's see this. I am done with this group, whatever we got, the group of different towns that are working together. My last job was over in Lake, Halton. With 1,500 yards of rock and 500 tons of class 5 in 3 days for widening a road. And tell you what, I gotta get with this group because they gotta come up with a plan. I think early in the spring, like we do with road maintenance, what we're gonna do this year so everybody can plan for it. Just telling you like at the last moment, hey, we need 10 trucks, Monday of next week. Well, it's hard to plan anything when this group's not really organized yet. I think they'll get better, but that's something we as a group need to work on. Let's see. On our new trailer, first time I used it, backing in to park it right there, one of the airlines, I broke it. The way they come out, if this is your panel hook, if you go straight up right here and here's where your airlines go in, you can only get about a 25 to 30 degree angle. So today I ordered 37 degree where they come out and go at an angle. I'm hoping that works. If not, I got a 90. I'm gonna try which one gives me the better clearance. Because you couldn't hardly turn it all and hit. And it's like, yeah, we gotta get that fixed. You should be, that's on a pintle hook. You should be able to really swing that tight. But I got all the parts out in the shop right now. Let's see. I don't know, there's not a lot, just link on mowing. I got a little bit, on here I'm showing, what, 6 miles, 5 miles done. I'm more 11, I think, right now, if you count what I ended up with today. But now that I'm on it more steady, it's gonna go pretty good. Anybody got anything for me?
That culvert on 210th, the one on the north, did you have, it looks good. Did you have to re-ditch it? Remember, it
Well,
comes from the
it's not-
field?
No, and the problem with that one, I actually put a transit on it. It's flowing to the east.
Yeah, I saw that too, I know. So
And
then you had
it
to,
was, when we got there, well, before there was a little bit of water on the west side.
yeah,
But when they measured it top to top, and once they cleaned it, it was flowing that way, to the east. If we go to the west, we have to dig that hill out going towards LNC Auto.
yeah.
Either it's filled in over the years, or it was always designed to go that way.
Yeah, because I know looking from the road, it looks like you had to dig the hill out, but you didn't. Yeah, okay.
But from what I've seen, I mean, I've been around here 18 years while they're working, I've never seen it hold water all summer there, so it just goes in and soaks in the ground.
I know, yeah.
It'd be nice to get it to go the other way, but then it's, where's it gonna sit down by LNC in that valley right there? There's no drain out of there either. But that'd be some major, it's such a steep bank on that knob you'd go through. It really, you'd almost have to culvert it. But yeah, that one's holding really good. That one there, we decided to just put in straight class 5. We had sand all around the pipe in class 5 because we were fighting, trying to pack the top, that pulverized asphalt. But that one hasn't sunk at all. My biggest concern is having disc-like soils. Now we got class 5 on, I think 3 of them on top, and then 4 that have that millings. They may change in the winter versus the summer. Anytime you put disc-like, you got class 5 trap rock or milled asphalt, and then you put class 5 in the middle, they may not freeze and thaw the same in the winter, and you might have a bump or dip in the winter, which I hope we don't. I hope that all gets worked out this winter, keep adding to it in the spring. But I may have to feather some in over like a 40 or 50 yard area in the spring so we don't get that dip or bump. But
So that water is gonna pool, worst case scenario, it'll pool on the east side in that field right there in the
Yeah.
corner, right?
yeah,
And
if it gets to a certain height, it'll break over that crest and go down the hill, but there's a good foot rise there.
okay,
I
okay.
mean, it won't go over the road ever.
Oh, you see that down there? Yeah,
And
yeah. I guess I never really paid attention, but I think that's what Kyle was talking about this spring.
Yeah.
After I looked, it's like I can kind of see what he's talking about.
Yeah. The easiest thing there would be filling that dip over there so it has nowhere to go that way and go the other way versus running there. That's way lower than the road.
Yeah. I guess it's been working, so.
What's your plan for picking up the old culverts?
I'm just gonna, when I get somebody else to help me, I'll drive the truck and I'll take the back over and just load them up, take them up to the yard over there where I got the rest of them stored for now. Eventually we'll take them down the lad and get scrap metal out of them. That, I'm hoping to get that out of there this
I mean,
week.
you could haul it down there, right? Haul the backhoe down there, drop it in the field road there.
Yeah, I could do that. Get them up that way. I was planning on getting out of there this week.
Okay, I'm just curious. I mean, that's kind of why we bought the trailer, so we,
Yeah. But I
Be a
gotta
little
get
bit
that airline
self-sufficient.
fixed. That's
No, that's
kinda dead in the water right now. But, yeah, I can get that probably tomorrow after I do the airline, get them out of there.
yeah, I'm not saying it's a hurry or nothing. I just wanna,
I still, that one culvert you're talking about, I gotta reshape where the culvert is now, and that's gotta get moved to do that ditch right there.
all right, any more
Oh,
questions?
and I didn't mention this, but at the last meeting, there was somebody brought up 160th and I was washing out.
Mm-hmm,
There's 3 areas in there that were minor compared to what they've been every year in the past. Since I did a bunch of the culverts over there and the riprap last year, the one hill we haven't even touched this year, and that's like Sunshine on the steep hill around the curve by, I don't remember their names over there, but you know what I'm talking, that one's held all year, we haven't had a problem there. And these areas, I mean, I was in there with a grader and out of there an hour and a half. So it's not bad compared to what I was fixing at every storm before. The only problem I'm having over there right now, I notice that culvert halfway up the road is getting plugged, or it's 3/4 of the way plugged. And I don't know, maybe I can get with somebody in the fire department and just get a tank of water and flush it out, because it's a pretty good grade through there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a cement culvert, so it ain't going anywhere, it just needs to be flushed. But other than that, I thought it held pretty good comparable to what it's always done in the past. I mean, before I've had 18-inch deep washouts right on the edge of the pavements, nice big storms.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Clerk's report. Janet, what do you have for us?
All right, the first thing, and I didn't catch this, but I had 2 payments to Jarko. So it knocked my numbers off. So when I
Okay.
went to do disbursements after the meeting, I was off. And
Okay, so we just,
so you just need to approve it. So this 23 is the correct amount. I think it was, what would it
Did we
be?
get 2 checks?
Huh?
Did you send us 2 checks?
No,
Oh.
no. Or, no,
I
it was
was gonna say, I'll
just,
send you one back if you send it to me.
no,
Yeah,
it
or we
was,
just
all
keep
the
it for next
numbers
time, right?
got off one.
Oh, okay.
That's because it was, I put it in the listing twice.
Oh,
So, no.
okay.
No, this wasn't reconciling to my checkbook, so it was what is how I found it.
I'll make a motion to approve disbursements numbers 223 through 248 for the total sum of $23,716.59.
is there a second?
Do I need to void the check number 245?
No, because that really wasn't,
Alright.
I'll second it.
All right, roll call please.
all right, Will,
Yes.
Brent,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Mike.
Aye.
And then the next one is this month. So this, there's a couple big ones on here. The double chip seal, that's the final payment. Gravel, that's everything so far from Taylor, unless you've taken more out since you gave me those numbers, or you have taken 3 more. So there'll be a little more, but this was the big one, I think, when they brought in the gravel on 210.
Mm-hmm.
And then we paid for the pulverizing.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll make a motion to approve disbursements numbers 249 through 272 for the total sum of $145,302.93.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call please.
All right, Jeremy,
Yes.
Brent,
Yes.
Will,
Yes.
Mike.
Aye.
Everything else is pretty standard. If there's any questions. We are sitting, when I was going through the budget and everything, we're probably looking at about 100 to 100 and probably about 140 carrying over
Okay.
to next year. So, and
And what's
when we do,
recommended? Isn't it like 125 or something like that?
that's outside of the 75.
Oh.
I mean, that's kind of outside the 75. I mean,
Okay.
so kind of watching it, so I don't know if you want to, we'll have to discuss later at the budget if you want to build that in from operations and build it in right away, or or just plan when we get to the end of the year. We'll see what we've got over the 75 and just build that into the,
Next year's.
yeah, just use it for the highway. The other thing is I don't know of you, so the culverts, we have not been billed for. Mailboxes, mailbox supports, I mean, get
Yeah.
those all ordered.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he needed to do a couple before winter for,
I have some on 210th, but I have some back here for that.
Okay.
So
So we
just,
could
I mean,
pre-order for everything on 2/10 and.
if, you know, just, but
Then
just,
get it stored
and
all
I
in.
can,
It'd be on the far side, you know.
Okay. No, that's great to know.
I mean, kinda last year I was 10,000 off from what I thought we were gonna carry over, which I was pretty happy with, that I nailed it so close, so.
No,
So I
good
mean,
job.
so just kinda, unless I'm really missing something. Deer Lake toilets, we have not been billed for it all year, I'm guessing she's gonna send me one, but when do you want them out of there? We got them in April, do you want me to have them pull them?
Say by the
October
1st of November,
31st?
Yeah.
Okay. That's kinda what I thought, but I wanted to ask.
Unless somebody has a different opinion.
Alright. And that's,
Pretty much right now, it's, I hate to say, it's Terry screw.
yeah, they told, they will be all done probably, or pretty much done. There's always a few stragglers, but they
Yeah.
anticipate to be done by the end of the month.
It's nice for them to have a
Mhm.
place like that there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So. So, I don't know if there's any other questions, or, and there was a dog, one dog call. There's one more building permit that just came in. In other words, everything kind of got quiet, and I think there's one more coming in. But
Okay.
I anticipate that slowing up now.
All right, thank you. Does anybody have any supervisory reports?
I think I brought up last meeting or the one before regarding that trailer house before the Gandy.
Yeah.
Were we gonna send a letter? What was our,
A letter went out.
okay, no response?
Is it that no response, but I told them if they plan to park it there, they need a permit.
Yeah.
Is it been back? Is it back on the weekends? I have not
No,
seen it other
I
than
don't
way
know.
back.
I haven't seen that neither. I didn't know if they called or
No.
nothing. Oh, that's all I
But
was
my,
curious.
but my letter was if you intend to have it
Okay,
there.
so they didn't need to respond or nothing?
Right,
Okay.
right, it was just, if you
Yep.
intend, you know, that you need, and then I sent the application,
Yep, no,
so.
Kenny?
Nope.
We had one business that needed to do a couple things to comply with their, what's the word?
Commercial design, their
Commercial
site
design
plan.
guideline, yeah, their site plan, so they had some trees left to plant, and they have planted the trees and sent us video of it, so that should be good to call done.
I filed all of that in with the
Perfect.
folder with the letter we sent them.
Alright, other than that, tomorrow night's our last cemetery meeting for the year. That's all I have. So moving on to new business, item A, 7A is discussion and consideration of potentially adding additional permitted uses to the special exception uses in the commercial district. So this kinda came up that unless it's on our list, we don't allow it, right? So this is just opening it up to more options for businesses to move into our town.
I had given you guys, I brought this up a couple meetings ago and gave you the commercial, all the uses, and nobody really wanted to go any further. But again, somebody called and asked for something specific, and again, I mean, there I am. So I went a step farther, and now I'm throwing something out for you guys to actually consider.
Nope,
The
that's great.
person here wants to do, basically wants to do mobile homes and manufactured homes. At the, next to the mini storage, and that was a business years and years ago. It hasn't been there for 20 years, but that was a business there. And there was the same similar business across the street where the pickleball is supposedly gonna go to. So we had a couple of them here. So the first suggestion kind of relates to that, but I also included module homes, even though that's not what they're looking at, or storage sheds. But what I put, because everybody seems to be hooked on that they have a permanent structure for business. on the property. So that says, provided a permanent structure for retail sales and business be located on the property. And I just know that's always come up. I don't know if that's to consider the people who actually have businesses here and their competition doesn't just throw a whole bunch of trailers in a field. So, I mean, like Marine Dock, you know, somebody rents a field and puts in a bunch of those, that's kind of why I'm throwing that on here. You guys can decide. And then, another one, and Adam, I don't know if you like the language, I looked at the county and I looked at the city. This other one would kind of catch more things that hopefully catch stuff that's not specifically listed, but does this meet the law? Any other uses similar in character to the above permitted uses, so this would be at the bottom of our permitted uses, and I did put in all our permitted uses and then our special exceptions. Uses and the manufacture, treatment of products clearly incidental to the conduct of a retail business on the property, provided a permanent structure for the retail sales and business be located on the property. This would kind of catch things that aren't specifically listed, kind of saying retail. Is it too vague? I wasn't sure, I took this out of the cities and I was concerned it was too vague.
Maybe, but I think you can deal with that by not doing it as a permitted use, just do it as a special exception.
Okay,
And say that they can get a special exception for something that's similar to the permitted uses.
okay.
That way
Would
they
it
have
need to
some-
be reworded a little bit
A little.
then the permit, instead of saying the above, it would be permitted, or the permitted uses? If the board chooses
So
to,
a business that sells these objects, mobile homes, storage sheds, manufactured homes, the taxable value is gonna be vacant land if they don't have an office on site. Is that correct? So we're not taxing the homes that are there for sale.
no,
So I guess personally, I like to see some sort of a permanent office on site.
Yeah, and I think she states that.
Yeah. So,
I just don't wanna restrict it, you know, I mean, if somebody has something that's not on our list, you know, I mean,
absolutely, yeah.
I'd like to open
it
up.
makes it hard for me because then
does.
everybody badmouths me.
Well, yeah, cause they're mad at you because
Which,
they're not
thank
getting
you
what
very
they do.
much.
Yeah,
You guys want to throw it into special exceptions for something like that, or are you looking at that sheds and mobile homes as permitted uses?
oh, I don't know, I mean, I kinda like knowing what's coming in before, you know, without, I don't want it to just fly in, you know, without us
So special
reviewing
exception.
it, so I like the special exception idea.
So you could take these two things, Janet and I could build it into the special exceptions and for the plan commission to have a public hearing on in November.
Sounds good.
If you
If
guys,
that's
What do you guys think?
this was kind of just an initial discussion before we started messing around with the
Yeah.
plan commission.
No, yeah, just to see if we had any interest in changing it. And do you guys or not?
I guess I agree with everything that's been said. I don't wanna restrict people, but I don't, you know, special exception is nice, cause then we know what's kinda I'm in agreement, I guess, from what I'm hearing.
All right, I'll work with you this month on language so that it can go in the, you're good with doing it at the plan commission next, in November?
Yeah, so my next question was, does it have to come back here, or can it go now straight to the plan commission?
We'll go to the plan commission for the public hearing. That same month, it'll come here for the first reading, and then it will pass in December.
Right.
Well, I should say, look at that.
Voted on it.
It'll be up for consideration. All right, we're good with that one.
Yeah.
Do you wanna update Katie quick on that
We just,
discussion?
Which one? For special exceptions, or permitted uses in the town.
So the top two,
Yep,
it was suggested that they be in the special exception permit, or the special exception uses.
okay,
So we'll go forward with a public hearing.
perfect.
So they'll be
Just
tweaked a little
less
bit.
restrictive than
Yeah,
what we have.
and they're gonna be tweaked to be in a special exception and not a permitted use.
Okay,
All right, item B, approve a public entity money market account with Royal Credit Union. Can you explain this a little bit?
Okay, so again, 2 months ago, cause I just didn't get to it, we got the, I got an email with basically this information that's on page 28. And I had asked you guys if you wanted me to look into it. At the time, the current rate was 5.04. I think it dipped a little bit to 4 point, I didn't get the official what it dropped to, but it'll always be higher than other, for public entities. Is what she told me. I mean, we'll have to watch it and hold her to it. Currently, we're getting so little. So I did talk to them and got the information. So if we wanted to use this as a money market account, I can transfer the money. I transfer in the bank currently, and from our money market or tax account or our money market account. What I'm suggesting is probably just going to one money market account and a checking account. Checking account will stay for now unless we want to move that, but the money market would be with RCU.
And there's no restrictions on what we can move out of there at any time?
No, I asked her because I told her, I asked her what I would do is ACH transactions from there to First Resource.
Okay.
So it's that, and I said, is there a limit? And she said, we can set that, and I said, I mean, most of the time I do 50 or 60, but at tax time I have to pay them out and do. The other thing is that we are additionally bonded. I don't know if I'm wording that right. They have a set limit that they can cover us. So if we go over that, we need additional coverage, which First Resource does do. They said they do not do that. And I said, so I'll need to keep keep track of that and make sure that I never go over the 600,000. You know, it's only at tax time. So at January, and it's the end of December, it's about a month. And I'll just make sure I don't. They feel very secure, but they don't have that. So I said, so that's something I'll just need to watch during tax collection.
Okay.
And she said, yes, if you wanna, they tried to tell me not to be worried, but I said, it's not my money, it's the people's money. I need to know it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So that was the only other thing, and they are looking into getting that coverage more. I just would have to be on top of that and make sure I'm under.
Okay.
So if you feel, I mean,
Do you have
just so
any
you're aware.
questions, more questions for Jen? Oh, I suppose we can chat about it after if somebody makes a motion too.
Oh, and then this was just a pamphlet they sent me on the,
I'll make a motion to move our money market account to RCU
I'll second.
and just do combine it so there's one.
She's saying you make a motion to approve resolution.
Right, so,
24.
Yeah, yes,
Is there a second?
Second.
that's what I said.
All right, roll call please.
Katie. All right, Brent,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Will,
Yeah,
Katie,
Yes,
Mike.
Aye. When would the switch?
As soon as we get, all our information to the bank, so on the resolution, it said, me, the chairman, and the vice chairman, to have, not that I'll be doing it with ACH, there shouldn't be a reason to have anything, I'll probably just get like 10 checks that I keep in the vault, just
Okay.
in case, but just our names should be on the account.
we can put this money in and out, there's no,
No, it's not a CD, this is, right,
Okay.
and there's no minimum balance,
Okay.
because I told them,
Okay.
because we're a public entity.
'Cause it's a
We're
heck of
supposed
a-
to run it right down.
that's a heck of a difference and.
Oh, no, I
There's
know.
gotta be a catch, but,
is that date supposed to be September 20, 2017?
oh, yeah.
No, I probably used an old resolution.
Oh, okay, with that fixed.
Okay, where's,
On resolution 2430, the first line, or first paragraph says on September 20th, 2017.
oh, nope, that's supposed to be there.
That is that, okay.
That was when we had
I did the other,
designated RCU as one of our depositories.
gotcha.
I had to make sure that they were designated, that we had passed a resolution previously.
Okay.
Designating, I think we've got Midwest RCU, First Resource. I was thinking there's 4, but it might just be the 3. Nope, that's correct.
Okay.
All right.
Adam, you see no issues with that from a legal point of view?
Item C, approve resolution establishing a date and time, place for the 2025 budget hearing and call for a special town meeting.
Typically do it after, right?
Yep. Well, we've always done it, or typically do it at 7 PM. So we call recessing if we're not done.
And what date do you propose?
Right after, so the 20th is our next board meeting, so we would just
Do it after.
recess at 7 PM if we're not done, and then, well, actually, we'll have to because we come back in then and approve the budget and approve the levy once this is done.
Okay.
So we need a motion to, okay, I make a motion to approve resolution 2431.
Setting the date for 11/20 at 7 PM.
Correct.
Second that.
Alright, roll call please.
All right, Jeremy,
Yes.
Katie,
Aye.
Brent,
Yes.
Will,
Yes.
Mike.
Aye. Item D, approve license approval, operator bartender license, 2432 resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2432.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call please.
All right, Brent,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Will,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Mike.
Aye. Item E, approve updated town board rules and procedures policy.
Okay, so this one,
She slipped this one in.
yep, I did
Yeah.
after. I was gonna say, this was not on, this is Adam's favorite rules and procedures. This is where I had to go to look for the, they're basically all the rules and procedures for the town board. They were supposed to be getting adopted every 2 years. I think 17 was maybe the last time.
Okay.
And I had to update, so a couple things I had to update was not just a cafe, and the BP gas station instead of Speedway. And then maybe this wasn't where but there were a couple things I saw that were wrong, so I just thought I'd throw it out there and see what you guys thought.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yep, this was, page 44 was the depositories.
Looks good.
Is that a motion?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2433.
34.
2433.
3433.
I say 24.
It's
So I
24
thought you
already.
did.
Huh?
Mine says 34.
Oh, on here,
Oh, on
it
the
says,
agenda.
Oh,
it
that's
should,
the agenda.
24,
Oh, okay,
should be
my
30.
bad.
Should be 2433.
Yeah, Katie's right. I'll second her 2433.
Roll call please.
Katie,
Yes.
Will,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Brent,
Yes.
Mike.
Aye. Update of item F is update of services for annual audits in the town's financial records.
Oh, so this was, we still need to have a CPA do our financial audit since the positions combined. I got 3 companies' names. One, I just reached out, this was one of them, and this one is who everybody is using. They're $8,500.
It's absurd.
Is there not another CPA that will do it for us?
Nope.
Are you, so
Really?
seriously, cause max was 6,000 to have a treasurer.
What's the difference? Why are people hesitant to do it, in your opinion?
They don't do audit. Most of the smaller
CPAs.
CVAs around here don't do audit.
Okay. You guys have any discussions on that?
Have any suggestions?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I
guys
mean,
can
don't
always
really
go back
say
to appointing a treasurer and paying a treasurer's salary. I mean,
Who are the others that you
reached out to?
Do you want me to
Carlson
go
out
back?
of Amory, you reach out to them?
They don't do it.
They don't do it, okay.
Is that Carlson that's down there,
Yeah,
right? Yep, called them, called a couple, in the cities. My CPA or Aero Marine CPA is the one who gave me these last three names. One didn't call me back. This one was the one that all the other towns or other villages are using. And then one said no. Or they just don't, or they didn't do audits.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
somebody
It
to
wasn't
dig
somebody
in
to
and
do
call
an
us.
audit. So I mean, I can keep trying. I just couldn't believe that dollar amount.
What are you guys' thoughts?
Well, I don't think we're gonna, I agree, who are you gonna appoint though? Just what,
You guys wanna maybe let it ride a month?
I was gonna
Why don't
say
we call
kill
down
the
to the
table.
Towns Association and see if they have any auditors? Because
Okay.
I've had this question from a couple of others too,
Oh, I know some are trying to find somebody different.
yeah.
And I almost wish I
I
remember.
didn't
Is that
realize it
Clear
was
Lake?
up to 85. It's ridiculous.
Is it Clear Lake that's trying to find somebody else? One of them I called, but I couldn't remember which one. And I wanted to call him back and
Yeah,
say,
it's-
who else are you talking
Is this
to?
an emergency that we need it like?
No,
right
I'm just,
now?
okay,
let's just table it.
will somebody come get us? I don't think so. I mean, even if we don't do it till next year but we're supposed to do it according to statute.
Let's table it and do some.
Yeah, I think an
research.
audit's important. I just.
Oh, yeah, especially if you have one person.
Okay.
I just was floored.
Alright, so we're all in agreement, to postpone it till next month? Item G, update and discussion on the cost of the fire services resulting from the Centurion Fire Department's merger with Milltown Fire Department. I think you have a sheet in front of you with costs.
Is that different than?
Did they merge?
last month?
No,
This is the same as
We're
last
kinda
time?
shooting for January 1.
Okay.
Oh, we tabled
means
it because
March.
Brent wasn't here.
But I think, weren't you gonna have a meeting with John, or you guys discussed a
I
few things?
talked with Adam a little bit, and, my problem is I want a contract with a reputable, I want a good service for our
I
people
agree.
in our town. How do you write that down, you know what I mean? And that was my dilemma. You know, it's, you can put a easy out on the contract, but my question is how do you write down, you need to follow these guidelines? Especially with volunteers departments, it's hard, you know, to put guidelines on things, cause it's who's around and what's going on, you know?
Well, how about on that call? I mean, there's no way you guys, the call thing.
I would say if you, just my thoughts is that, if another department was put on auto aid for maybe car accidents and structure fires, that would be a big bonus, cause then you'd know that, they were getting assistance as soon as possible. And you wouldn't, it would kinda take it out of their hands a little bit as far as whether they choose to ask for help or not. But other than that, I don't know,
Cause it sounded like John he had no problem with that.
he did not.
It sounds like it's the county that's the problem with that.
But if we, so, yes, but the board can direct the county to make a change and they have no choice but to change it, as long as the board's asking. But the fire department can't go and say, we would like you to change this to that.
So as a board, they will call two at once?
Say that again?
If the board requests them to call,
If we pass a resolution, is what I was told, that then the county dispatch has no choice but to,
This is for the new map,
follow.
right?
Yeah.
okay. I thought they couldn't dispatch.
What?
I thought they couldn't, they physically.
They just don't want
couldn't.
to.
Okay.
They, yeah,
Why
they
rock
don't
the
wanna,
boat?
it's hard.
We're called. Right away.
St. Croix was charging us the 90,000.
Hmm?
St. Croix charging us that 90,000 still.
I know. Yeah, this is cheaper than what we were.
You guys can
doing.
talk openly, that's fine.
Do we need to pass a thing or do we need to make
We need to
resolutions so we
decide
can
if we're gonna
discuss?
Well,
This is not to the resolution point yet. This is you guys discussing to
Okay.
see what you
Like,
want
are we
to do.
gonna keep, is St. Croix gonna cover all of St. Croix? St. Croix Fire gonna cover all of the town, or do we wanna contract part of it back out?
Yeah, we were just looking at the dollars being spent. The new map would be 2,200 if we just left everything alone.
but
The
now,
way
Every-
the
the
county
new
has.
map, the new map, everything that you guys have approved is just $2,200.
Yeah, but it didn't go to the county yet. The county
No,
hasn't
but
You
checked.
guys would have to bring it back and change, and
Well-
amend it though, cause you guys approved it.
my understanding was this price was to the new map boundaries.
The
They
2,200.
put both of them in here.
Okay, what's, yeah.
71, the other one, or 7,100.
Cause I wanted you to be able to see what they were,
That's
what
from the old
apples to
boundaries.
apples.
Yeah,
From last year.
and that's what the county is going on right now.
Correct, it has not been changed with
Correct.
the county.
But you're right, we approved the
You
change.
guys already approved it, so you would have to bring back that and change, and approve it differently.
So I guess I wanna see them guys succeed. You know what I mean? But if we stay at the current, I agree with Mike. John was not reluctant to that, as long as we can get called, St.
It's
Croix gets
basic-
called. I
yeah.
know we're spending more money, I get that.
So are you more in favor of, the 22 or the 71?
Probably the 71 for me right now.
Okay.
Which puts it back to the
The
people
old
that were
map.
concerned about.
And it keeps everybody that was here that day happy.
Okay.
And it gives them guys a little more money. I know we're spending more money. The only way I would agree though is you guys gotta get,
If it's on auto aid.
yeah.
And just so everybody's clear, it does not change anything with St. Croix. The dollar
No,
amount we've
correct,
already
yeah.
signed,
Yeah.
are up with, it's,
That's just
My suggestion is just, we have not turned that new map into the county yet.
No.
Just hold on to it for now. And why don't we sign the contract with the new merged entity in January or something? We can tell them that you're gonna do it, but
For the old, what,
for whatever he was just
What-
talking, for the
okay.
71, yeah.
What's everybody
So
else?
in
I mean,
January-
That's just
My concern is dispatch is only good as the information that they have. So if, for instance, the fire that was right on the border of the new map, if it doesn't come in as a structure fire, and it comes in as like a smoke in a building or whatever, it's not gonna trigger the auto aid. So there's gonna be times where you're still delayed because it's not an auto aid. You're still relying on a mutual aid agreement at that point, not auto aid.
you know, I have talked with John and, he's guaranteed me that, if there's even the hint of a structure fire that he would call. And he said he'd instruct his people to do that. You know, I mean, it's a trust thing, you know, I mean, do we trust them to do that or do we trust the county more? It's kind of a up in the air deal right now, I think, you know.
I guess that's my biggest change of heart is I had some good vibes from John. I thought
I think he's reasonable.
I do too. I do, but
Yeah, I mean,
are they
So
gonna
this-
change their training, or are they just gonna keep doing the
that's
same
the
thing?
part that I was trying to put into words as far as how do you write that down, you know what I
I
mean?
was just gonna say, is this, we can do it 1 year at a time or this is like a 5-year
We
thing?
can get out
You
anytime.
can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the other thing is we get a vote then, since, or our association thing, okay,
You're not a member, you're just a contract, just
okay,
like now.
okay, alright. Cause
You
we
could-
talked both ways.
Theoretically, you could become a member if you wanted, I guess. But that would be slightly different than what, at least I've understood you're talking about, is
Cause
just
I
a
was looking
contract.
at some of these other townships that are gonna be paying bigger bucks, you know, would they get a vote? Would they become members then?
They're merging in.
Oh, they're, okay.
Yeah, they're all gonna be one association. I guess I don't know if it's everybody on this list. I heard the other day that maybe Georgetown is not gonna do it, but I don't know.
Okay.
Dawson Lake's looking too.
So I don't know exactly how it's gonna turn out, but theoretically, they'd have a vote because they'd be in the association.
Okay.
So, just so I'm clear, right now, nothing really has changed with Centuria from the way that it's always been. There's never been a contract, we haven't told the county. I think you guys can just continue that unless you want to put the auto aid resolution on for next month. Cause that doesn't matter whether you're signed the contract with the new association or not, you can start that auto aid next month.
Correct.
So I think maybe do that next month, and then, once the association thing is done, then you'll have a contract that you can approve, which I assume would be December, January.
So next month, we'd have to pass a resolution stating that we request auto aid for any, what do you guys think? Structure
What do you
fire,
guys
car
think?
accident in the town?
And you'd have to re-amend that map again too. We'd do both of those
So
next
do
month.
both those at the same time,
Yeah.
What do we give Centurion now? 10,000 a year, correct?
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're still saving money. Not as much as we thought, but.
So,
Auto aid resolution, will you help me? Cause
Yes.
I'm not even sure what all that entails, and then we'll amend and put it back to the old district, the map.
Who are you talking to at dispatch?
Jill?
Maybe you and I will just chat with her and make sure that, I say to pass the resolution, send it to her, and she says, oh yeah, that's not what I want.
No, that would be fine.
So this auto aid, you gotta clearly state structural, car. Is
can you
that
just
the
do
way?
anything
you're-
besides a first responder call?
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
just gonna say.
Good call. That'd be fine.
Let's just try to keep it really simple.
Okay, that makes sense.
So how does it work with that association? I mean, if they get paged, does it matter which hall they take trucks out of?
Originally, John said that he was gonna have all three departments respond, which I think is overkill.
So there's a chance that we may have an issue and no one from Centuria shows up and we're waiting for a truck from Milltown?
Yeah.
But if you say
But
any
with
fire
that-
call,
With that auto aid, that
St. Croix
St. Croix
already
won't show
come.
up anyway.
Right.
but still costing $7,000.
Right.
What?
But we
But still
could do
costing
that, we could
$7,000.
see how it goes for the first year, or right a 5-year, and then just with the option to get out of it, and then if we need to go all St. Croix, we will go all St. Croix, right? If it doesn't pan out.
Correct, yeah. Cause in my mind, this is just for 1 year. I mean, we can change
So
that.
at that time, we look at a contract, we'll probably just wanna do it 1 year at a time, till they, correct?
Well-
Yeah, and I was gonna put a termination provision in it anyway, to help with Mike's concern about training. But if the board.
I'm just worried that Dawson Lake and Centuria are gonna fall away and let Milltown,
Right.
Right.
respond to everything. But whether that happens or not, I don't know. It's hard to.
But even if that happens, like next June or July, can't we go in and just say, okay, we wanna abolish our contract with you
Yeah.
guys? We don't have to wait till renewal, right?
Well, you have to wait till renewal unless the contract says that you
Unless you
can get out
specify.
early. That's what I intend to put in there.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, now I understand, yeah, so we're covered.
Or just even a year to year is fine because they're budgeted, they're gonna get that.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the only thing, you're right, we're giving them
Prorate it,
$5,000 more.
Adam, for clarification too, now that we get into these contracts, the fire dues, like the St. Croix one, now we keep our fire dues, correct? That's revenue to help us? I meant to
I
ask
think
you that in a
that
phone
since there's
call.
no businesses in that area, I don't know that the fire dues should go to any part of the fire dues should go to the Milltown.
how they've been done is the percentage of each payment. So what, you take what has been done since I started is you took the full amount that you spent, which basically Eureka was about a third. So a third of the fire dues went, not Eureka, third of the fire dues went to Centuria and 66% of the fire dues went to St. Croix. But because we're paying of the budget, there was no revenue budget to offset that we looked at, that we keep all our dues now, right? And that's part of the money the town has to pay for the contract, correct?
Because basically the fire dues are for inspections and public service, basically. I mean,
Right,
it's
what
like
you're saying,
fire prevention.
right,
But the dues come to the town.
yes. And since the contract
think the
now
I don't
covers
think that-
everything, the dues are now ours, right? And then goes
I-
toward the payment.
I'd have to look at the contract, but I don't think that the contract had that the dues would come to the city. I think the city's number was the city's number. if I
Right,
remember the
of their
contract.
Yeah,
budget.
there's two separate things that need to be signed off in there. One says the town and one says the city. And it's basically.
That's just so we get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's all based on inspections that were done to businesses.
And this, because we used to pay the city inspections too, now all of that's covered in that contract. Because we had two different agreements, one for paying this much to the city for inspections, one for the contract. And like I said, now I think it went away, others, they should have given us their revenue. And then that would have been, then technically 32% would have been less, because you would have decreased the expenditure by that revenue coming in.
Yeah, I mean, my recollection of what the contract says is you're correct, but
Yeah.
take a look at it.
Okay. Because really, the city has their revenue, they only wanted us to pay that percentage of the expense budget. So they weren't telling us, these are all our revenues coming in to help pay for that, they just wanted us at 34% of that. If we would've looked, if we wanted to take that into consideration, then we should have seen, okay, the city pays this much for the budget, dues are this much, and then town pays this much,
It just makes
and
it
those
more
three would have made,
complicated.
yeah.
Now we have one-
Well, that's what I mean, I think that's why they just did the budget the way it is. So that's money now that helps offset that expense.
Because otherwise they, based on how they wrote the contract, it'd be kind of double dipping.
That's kind of what I thought, but I just want to make sure.
Which I wouldn't put past the city, right?
New administrator,
Kirk,
started.
Kirk the double dipper.
Yeah, no,
Alright, so what I heard was that we intend to contract with Milltown with the auto aid provision put in there and easy out of the contract if needed.
Auto aid on everything except for,
First responder calls.
yep.
Okay.
So I didn't really, when I told these guys I'd help them do their association for free, I didn't really anticipate that I'd have a conflict because you guys were getting out. So now I have a direct conflict between the association and the town, of course, with the contract. I think it's a waivable conflict, but you guys certainly are entitled to your own attorney, as are they. If you guys are uncomfortable with it, I'd like to disclose that stuff. And
Is anybody uncomfortable?
But you can still do it if we want you to.
yeah, I just, when that time comes, if you want me to do it, I just get both to waive the conflict.
Okay.
But it is a absolute direct conflict now. But it really wasn't when I first thought about helping them. So, sorry about that.
No, it's-
No.
If you're helping them for free, is it still a conflict?
It is, it doesn't matter if you do
It
pro
doesn't.
bono, it's still all
Okay.
of the normal ethical
It
rules
is.
apply.
Interesting. Didn't know
any more discussion on this?
No, so we go forward.
Alright, do we have to vote on anything or is that next?
nope, next one will be the,
Alright, item H, update on the roads if any.
Same thing.
Alright,
Nyberg Court, that bridge in there, we did the initial look at it and give the information to full county.
are they the ones that sprayed the utilities down there?
I don't know.
Somebody
Wasn't
sprayed the
me, and I
utilities
didn't call
on
it
the
in, so somebody else
side.
obviously did.
I'm guessing it's a power company or, I don't know, one of the ones that have lines in there.
That house just recently sold, so I thought maybe they were gonna put up a fence or something, so I didn't know.
That could be, I have nothing to do with that, but anyway, the reason I was bringing this up is when they have their inspector come in, it's possible they could condemn that bridge.
Yeah,
So if there's a way you could, in your budget, think about that for next year. But for you being on the county board, there's gonna be some funds come out for bridge aid. Let us know. So at least we can try to attempt that.
Do you I mean, the whole reason they're doing this is to identify so they can go to the state to get money. They're
Yes.
not out to say bridges, you have to fix this. It wasn't a fishing thing, it was, hey, these are all the bridges we have, these are the conditions, you need to start pouring more money into towns.
Yes. From
Okay.
the class I went to, though, they said they're gonna prioritize them in the county from the worst.
I don't think we're in danger of.
I don't think,
condemned.
no, and I don't think they do that to us without giving us the money to fix it.
Well, that's why I'm hoping they do. If you hear at the county board, there's money set aside. Well, you can even get it before it needs to be done.
That's such a small,
I think there's other
That's
budgets
such a
that keep
small
getting
amount of
hit in
money
the county
for the
that money
bridge
goes
aid.
towards.
isn't the bridge aid small
But it
compared to?
happens, there's a bridge on 165th, which is a lightly traveled road near my house that the county helped the town of Apple River a couple of years ago get a pretty substantial, whatever the grant was. Mo did it at the
But
time.
you're almost better if the bridge fails, cause then you get an immediate response, aren't you?
It didn't fail, but there is a program that if you bring it up to whatever, and that was kind of a dangerous bridge because it was on a curve and I don't know. But in any event, there is some opportunity there, and Mo is particularly good at that. And I don't know if Josh is as good as Mo yet on it, but
I know it's right now to replace cement bridges, like the one in Balsam Lake they just did in Wentwack with the culvert, you're talking $200,000. It's stupid, but you got a trout stream that they have to divert and build in the bridge and then reconnect it back underneath, and it's
I
a
don't
major
see
job.
that happening there.
We can make one.
I'm just saying, when we do have to replace it, if we do, it could cost a lot of money. Way more than just throwing a culvert in there like you would think you could do, which would work.
Did you notice any difference in quality of work between the last two contractors we used?
Yes,
It's better, worse?
well,
As
I
we
would
see
say, no, to me it's really worse, but we gotta look at it this way. Our contract that we had for the double chip sealing,
Yeah,
the first one we went with, we just said Monarch, you got it. They
yeah.
went out and they had graders that were set up with lasers. They did the knockdown. I mean, they did everything prepping it for the chip seal. This guy come in and said, you're gonna do everything, I'm gonna come in and chip seal it. And we were attempting, but with the rollers and stuff we have here, I mean, we use the wobble wheel rollers on, we use graders, and 2 different grader operators are on those roads within either the day of or 2 days before.
Okay, but that was Farner guys, right?
The last ones, yes. Monarch totally did it different. They had, their guys graded it, rolled it.
I'm confused. The
different
last
ones.
contractor was Scott
Sorry,
Construction,
yes.
and then the first one was Farner. What
And they
did, in Monarch, they
subcon-
subcontract with Monarch to do
the
something?
grading.
Okay. I was
It was
confused.
all, I mean, when you look at it and you say Monarch and Farner, this one Matthew owns them both.
No, I know, but it was Farner that we contracted with,
Yes.
so that's why I was confused.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry, but they subbed out one of their people they use all the time, and the machinery they have is 10 times the
I
greater.
don't remember the price difference, dude.
There was.
I
But,
don't remember what the price
Yeah.
difference was.
if we rewrite the contract for the chip seal to exactly what we
You gotta put a
want.
value.
This time it
Put a
was
value on
pretty
it, what's the difference in price?
right
Was
there.
it 50,000 more? Well, then it ain't.
No.
No, it
Okay.
was 20 or 30, wasn't it? 20?
It was probably 20.
20 grand more.
And
So
there
you-
was,
in
I
your
know
opinion, fancy
people are
graders-
telling me that they don't even think it's the same. They're like, that's a double chip seal?
if
They
I
don't
can
know anything,
rent
but
the right
On the
type
one
of
Scott
roller,
did, or on the one?
and
they have opinions.
they
what's
came in on a
better.
Monday morning, which really scared us unless we're gonna work all weekend and keep that road smooth. Which, I mean, Dave graded on Friday, and I was back there on Monday, and I got the one done, and they're already chip sealing the other before I got to go blade it again. I mean, there's a difference between one
So we like Farner better, their craftsmanship better than,
I do.
okay.
But it was a more, I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, you
It
gotta
was
weigh.
$20,000 more.
But do you think maybe we're used to Farner? You know what I mean? Had you known you were getting into what we were supposed to do, would it have been different? You know what I mean?
Could we tell them that they have to do it on Thursday, Friday instead?
Yeah,
Would we have
Yeah.
time to prep?
So then
It'd sure be nice to not
Yeah,
have
but I
people
mean,
drive
we
on
get-
it all weekend and then have to start it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all.
but that's
A
our-
little more communication on our part, we saved quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
right, and see how they hold up.
Yeah,
One
and
thing
finished
is,
product, now
one
it's
thing
finished product.
is,
And
if
didn't know I
it's,
opened up this
another
can.
thing
No.
on these two roads that
no,
are
but
currently
see,
there,
if it lasts, doesn't
I,
matter.
Right.
I swept 180th. Within
Street
2
or
weeks.
avenue?
I've swept it with a rotary broom, bristle broom from Polk County. Them other roads we talked, me and Mike talked about that, we're gonna leave it and let's just plow it off. So some of those bumps, I've gone out and you can kick them, they're not really chatter bumps, they're just excess rock. As soon as it snows, it'll shove off in the ditch. So it's not as bad, but it is more uneven, you can feel it going down the road, it's not as flat as the,
But grading too, we were lack of moisture,
yeah.
you know, that didn't help
I
us.
mean, to do everything right over there, I'd need a spray truck, or a water distributor, and a different type of roller. And then you could do it just as good as Monarch.
Yeah,
But Monarch probably put 20,000 gallons of water on 180th while they were rolling and grading,
yeah.
which we don't have that capability.
I think you still have to watch it. If it holds up, even if it's not as
I mean, it's
done,
just a
I
band-aid
think,
until
yeah.
you get.
Yeah, that's right. That's
I think
right.
if it holds up,
Exactly.
why would you wanna spend more money for it?
I would still think we should be able to get 7 to 10 years out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what patching, as it needs it. And I haven't had to do a repair on either of those two roads they did though, so far.
Good.
Bumpy, but
So as long as we're on roads, within the next couple months, are we talking about how much stuff chip seal we need to order? Are we chip sealing next year?
usually, yes, well.
Because to get our oil ordered and shit
Yep.
by February?
And
Towards the
stuff.
end of December, beginning of January, I will get a call from Polk County and they'll want to know how many miles of roads we'll do so they can figure it into their.
Yeah, he's just saying we gotta get on that now, so we have that answer for
Okay,
him.
I will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So do you want that as an agenda item,
Yes.
chip seal for next, our roads? It'll be the same thing, but we can
Be the
decide how
cul-de-sacs.
many, yep. Discuss what we want.
and then you'd probably just stockpile it in our, like we
Yeah, I
did
did
last
what I
time,
did
right?
up there last time,
Yep,
put it up
yep.
there.
Yep, perfect.
in that area.
Alright, thanks for the update. Any, let's just hammer this one out. Any approval of training? Anybody have any training you need to go to?
I would like CPA certification for town audits,
I
so
know,
I can
Okay.
do them all.
If you can get it,
I know, isn't that?
That sounds like a great.
I
No,
second
but
that motion, now we can have discussion.
I read my October thing late, but I think that the town event would have been, I was gone anyway, but that town event that they do, like the Thursday, Friday thing, that they just did like the weekend.
Oh, yeah, the annual.
That might actually be
convention.
something good to go to. I just read it like the week before.
I've gone to them in the past.
It
They're
it looked
good.
like there was a lot of good information, so for next year, but
It just always depends what they have.
yeah.
And if you can get it elsewhere without traveling. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
That's always my,
alright, no more public comment. Can we just adjourn this meeting and then,
Yeah.
open up? Okay, need a
Yeah.
motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Yeah.
Everybody in favor?
Alright.
Alright, now, do you guys wanna take a 5-minute break before we get into the budget meeting?
Get them snacks that Katie brought, you know,
I
Thank
gotta
you.
run
We're
to my
waiting
house
for
and get
them.
them.
Jim,
yes.
do you have a citation book that you use for like zoning violations?
Oh, yes, there are like citations that
since you're
have to go
on
to.
Hang on a
the
second, I'm gonna shut this off.
I
Well,
have
actually,
whatever Jim has.
hey, Lisa,
Citation.
going, what?
For the
Yes, I have
chip
to
seal
see, I found
roads
it.
for next year,
Yes.
do you want me to do like all the roads I think need it and then from the
Yes.
board picks what we can use for that?
Yep.
Yeah, I will look for it.
We're gonna need a price, you know, how much, I don't know if you can get that out of anybody, how much per mile or how much per half mile or whatever you go by. and then,
Oh, we can't get it figured out, I can figure out the oil and the cost for that.
yeah,
And then I can figure out through Jason down at Trap Rock, how much per block per mile. We can kind of get a rough estimate.
Yeah,
I think it was marketing too, they should do this.
yeah, if you can get an estimate on how much it costs to do, say, a half mile. And then, we'll add up how many roads you come up with and see what it would cost.
Okay, and a couple of these roads that he mentioned over there.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, they need prep work.
No worries.
So it wouldn't just be chip seal.
See you guys.
Finding a CPA that doesn't
Flex,
cost
if you
very much. I just about died
drove
when I
in,
saw it.
say 212, you can count
I just
every
don't know what they
crack
have to
very
do, I
easily
mean,
with your
but in
car.
this place, that's trial.
where they're
and error,
depressed.
and all that, you don't have
So
to
some of
have
that
it.
needs leveling too.
I mean, how's your- I know.
We may be
I
on
know.
the spray patch, I might be able to get the spray patcher and try it, and see what I can do.
I think those are the ones that you've been trying for like 3 years.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah,
But those are really the only ones that are worth it, in my opinion.
yeah, because you can extend them out a lot more years and there's not that much traffic.